Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here, welcome back to another Destiny 2 video, and today we're talking about exotics, and more specifically how the exotic weapons are being reworked in the upcoming update to make them feel, well, exotic. If you missed yesterday's video, then I went over some of the new content coming to the game in the upcoming Warmind update, dropping on May 8th, and as someone that has been taking a short break from Destiny, it was genuinely nice to have a few things to look forward to again. Destiny 2 still has a long way to go before it's really where it needs to be, but some of the information shared and the content and changes shown are most definitely a step in the right direction, and to that end, I wanted to speak about exotics. However, just before I do that, a quick reminder that we're still running a giveaway for the limited edition God of War PS4 Pro, so if you want a chance to win that, then click the link in the description box down below and follow the instructions to enter. Now, over the past couple of weeks, Bungie have been releasing short teaser videos of some of the existing exotic weapons that are being reworked in Season 3. As I'm sure you're no doubt very much aware, a lot of the exotic weapons in Destiny 2 feel pretty lackluster. Sure, there were a couple of exceptions like Merciless or Wardcliff Coil, but ultimately, a lot of them, while they looked cool, really weren't that great or that exotic. I mean, exotic weapons are supposed to be exciting. You're supposed to get hyped when they drop and feel badass when you use them, and right now, a lot of them don't offer that. However, in Season 3, a lot of those exotics are getting updated, and in the livestream last night, they spoke about a few more, so let's see what we have so far. First up, Graviton Lance, a weapon that I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have, since you can just get it by playing through the campaign, and while it looks pretty cool, it's really not one of the default go-tos, not when you consider your other exotic options. As it stands right now, the exotic perk Black Hole makes the third shot of a burst do more damage, with no fall-off, and to complement that, when you land a kill, enemy targets explode. But since that final hit also sends the enemy flying, sometimes that explosion is a little bit useless. However, in Season 3, the gun has firstly changed from 3-round burst to 2-round burst, making it more viable in PvP since you're able to get to that more powerful shot quicker. However, on top of that, when the enemy is killed, instead of ragdolling backwards, they instead float into the air, aligning with the sort of black hole theme of the weapon, and then upon exploding, there's a load of void projectiles that seek out nearby targets, and as you can see from the clip, it looks pretty potent. Sure, this likely won't be that useful on large enemies or bosses, but it does look like a great option for clearing trash mobs. Moving on from there, let's talk about Sturm and Drang. Sturm being the exotic hand cannon and Drang being the legendary sidearm counterpart. These work as a pair, kills with one weapon reload to the other while it's stowed. Consecutive kills with Drang will overload rounds into Sturm, which caps out at a 20-round mag for a hand cannon. In Season 3, both of these weapons have had their base stats improved, making them easier to use in general gameplay. However, now Drang has Rampage and a maxed out magazine to help get more sidearm kills, and then when you swap to Sturm, the overflow rounds have a damage boost of 1.8. This makes for a significant damage boost in PvE and allows Drang to 2-tap enemies in PvP if you land both the boosted shot and the follow-up shot. They did show this off during the stream last night, and it's definitely going to be one of those weapons where if you're good with your precision shots and you can use it well, then it will be pretty potent. Next up, let's talk Skyburner's Oath. This is the exotic scout rifle that fires slower when you aim down sights in exchange for increased damage and faster if you fire from the hip. It's a weapon that was already pretty strong, but wasn't especially exciting or exotic feeling. It was basically just a cool looking scout rifle. So in the rework, they're changing it. Firstly, they've added explosive rounds to all shots, so it feels a little bit more awesome when you're firing it. And when you aim down sights, it behaves the same, full auto, slow firing, high impact. However, what's new is that when you fire from the hip, it instead lobs slower projectiles but at a faster rate. There's some gravity applied to the bullets to drag them down, so it's a little bit more like a grenade launcher when it fires. However, to make it easier to hit and not annoying like grenade launchers, they added tracking to their shots, so you can spam hipfire shots to land tracking explosive bullets, which is pretty awesome. To quote the Bungie blog post, the end result is a dual utility weapon that fires hit scan, high damage projectiles while aiming down sights, and rapid fire lobbed exploding tracking projectiles from the hip. It almost feels like a rapid fire grenade launcher that can transition to a precision death dealer with the press of a button. And since this was one of my favourite weapons in D2, this is something I'm keen to test out. After that, let's talk Rat King, another weapon that in theory sounded incredibly awesome, but in practice just didn't really cut it. Rat King is a sidearm that becomes stronger when other people nearby have the weapon equipped, and also gives you an increased magazine size when in the vicinity of other Rat King users. Nice and all, but not that powerful, so ultimately it was more for show than anything else. So in Season 3, firstly, in order to allow everyone to take advantage of the rate of fire increase when standing next to other Rat King users, they made this weapon full auto, so you no longer need to spam the trigger super fast, you instead just hold it down and let it rip. The perk also now triggers if the weapon is equipped, but stowed, so you don't have to have it out, and they front-loaded the stat benefits, so they increase more drastically with just 2 or 3 people using it, which means it'll be useful in things like strikes. In addition to that, while we don't have details on this just yet, the Masterwork perk for this is apparently going to make it even more potent. See, something else coming are Masterwork exotics. These will be special bonus perks that will further enhance the exotics, and they'll be unlocked by using the weapon and meeting certain conditions. Those conditions will not initially be revealed, but by simply playing with the weapon and taking it through other activities, you'll likely uncover them. It could be something like complete a Nightfall with the Rat King, and then the perk unlocks, but this should not only add an additional layer to the weapons, but also give us something else to grind for. Moving on from there, let's talk about Hardlight. This is the auto rifle that can swap between all 3 elements, and when fired, the shots bounce off walls. And again, while that sounds cool in theory, in practice, it's pretty hard to take advantage of. So first up, in Season 3, Hardlight will behave like Borealis, in that you'll be able to swap elements simply by holding down reload instead of having to go into the weapon details page and swap it manually. Plus, when a shot bounces off a surface, it gains double damage, so while it's still ultimately a challenge to land bounce shots, at least this time, when you do land them, they're going to hit harder, meaning there may well be incentives to run around trying to land those bounce shots, maybe shooting the ground in front of someone when you're running towards them, things like that. Next on the list is the tractor cannon, or the portal gun as I like to call it, since that's what it looks like. This has always been more of a comedic weapon than anything else. It's a shotgun that functions much like Lucio's boop cannon from Overwatch. It pushes people back. However, now, as you can see from the teaser clip, when you shoot a target with this weapon, it appears to create a sort of black hole or void vortex, and then amplifies void damage for a period of time after that. Bungie will likely speak more about that in the blog post this week, since they've been posting the teaser clips first, and then they follow up with that later on the Thursday update. But you can see in the clip just how quickly they were able to burn down the boss from half health, following a couple of shots with this, and then some void supers and weapons. So I therefore imagine this will be especially nice when paired with a void damage boost in a Nightfall. I can definitely see some bosses getting shredded pretty quickly with these. Now, just a couple more to go. First up, Fighting Lion, the joke grenade launcher that goes in your special weapon slot. As it exists right now, you might as well call it the Crying Lion, since it's pretty much useless. However, in Season 3, it's getting some rather interesting changes. First up, it's been given more ammo, and they've adjusted the damage so that there's more damage on the actual detonation and less on the actual impact. The result of this is that there's less pressure to make the actual grenade hit, and instead you can use it more traditionally and shoot for the feet and benefit from the explosion. Furthermore, if you land a successful kill with the grenade launcher, it'll then guarantee an energy ammo brick to drop, in turn helping you stay topped up on ammo. And then finally, at least for the time being, we have Risk Runner. This is the SMG that when you take arc damage, not only powers up the weapon, but also makes you take reduced arc damage in the process, and if you land kills, you're able to extend this overcharged state. It's also a pretty cool weapon, and does look and feel exotic. However, in Season 3, this perk will also work in PvP, and it will proc even if the weapon is stowed, but if you want to take advantage of the reduced arc damage, you'll need to swap to it. So you can essentially run around with it stowed, and then if someone shoots you with arc bullets, you can swap to it as a defensive mechanism, and then follow up from there. Now, that's pretty much it for the time being. Some pretty cool changes. Obviously, we'll have to wait till we have them in our hands to truly comment on how effective these changes are, but hearing some of the updates and seeing some of the clips on Twitter and the live stream, they definitely seem a little bit more exotic. So that's for sure going to be interesting if there's reason to dip back into the vault in the upcoming update and dust off some of those old weapons. As mentioned, exotic weapons will also be getting Masterwork perks to further enhance them, and there may still be a few more reworks we have yet to see, so keep it locked and I'll keep you up to date as and when there's more stuff worth talking about. Of course, if you missed last night's video, then don't forget you can check that out on the channel or find a link to it in the description box down below. But until the next video, thank you very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.